How is everyone doing today? And in this video, we are going to go over the second half of the spring celebration that we have currently in Heaven Burns Red. And with this celebration, we are going to see the brand new Memoria, which some of them we've already talked about, and then we're going to look at some of the events, what these characters specifically do. I did already record a separate video talking about every character that should be coming out in order. That should be coming out in a day or two so that y'all have that. But we will talk about the celebration, talk about the units specifically that are going to be on this banner, and then of course we'll have it at that. So this banner, or these Memoria that we're going to see for the second half of the celebration, are going to be Risa and Miko. And then not only that, we're also looking at Akari date with a Iroha as an S. Okay, so this is all really cool stuff, and in exchange Babuki. This is really cool. A lot of new characters. But with looking at all these characters, there are going to be some specific cases where some of y'all are going to want to pull for these characters, and there are going to be some cases where y'all probably are going to want to skip all of these characters. So going ahead and talking about the units that we have currently in the game, or what is going to be in the game, Akari, Risa, and Miko are all going to be in here for the second half. And Akari isn't really going to be the strongest character for what she's going to be bringing. Not only is she going to be her own banner by herself, so she will be the only SS on her banner that is rated up. That's already a little bit lower in value in regards to what you're going to be pulling on. She does have herself some dark attack up, which is really good for an attacker, but the problem is, not only is she giving herself hit count, which is a good thing, that's not a con in any way, shape, or form. She has high hits, so that means really good for overdrive. But the main thing is that she lowers herself by defense down. She actually gives herself a debuff, and it makes so she gets a defense down after she uses her EX skill, which you should be killing the enemy with this, but you really are leaving yourself prone to damage if you somehow don't break them, or you somehow leave them alive, which would be really weird, right? This technically isn't going to be the craziest dark attacker in the world. Of course, we have Yuina, who just came by, who was an AoE damage dealer for dark, who's able to give themselves dark attack up, who was able to give themselves dark crit up on their EX skill. So there was a couple of good things that came out of Yuina, and this Akari, for the most part, or this unit, realistically, it's just not going to be the highest value of what you could be pulling on with your quartz. The next two characters, though, now this is going to be a little bit more for where the value is going to come from. Miko is going to be one of the premier ice debuffers, with her being able to give single target ice defense down that lasts for 2 turns. That is very strong, because not only are you able to basically debuff the crap out of the enemy because it lasts 2 turns, you're able to set up the board a little bit easier. You need a little bit less in overdrive to get this done. This is a really good EX skill to have for your ice team. So if you have characters like Kanzaki, if you have a character like Waki, if you have a character like Maria, all these ice characters are definitely going to benefit from this ice defense down. And this does stack on top of defense down, regular defense down, and also fragile. So these are all really great things that come out of being able to grab this Miko. Realistically, this is the MVP of those banners. This is the banner that you are going to want to summon on if you are more towards an ice related box, or you have your characters that you enjoy using that are ice related. There will of course be better units in the future that are going to be ice debuffers, ice buffers, but Miko is definitely going to be specifically a really good character for the ice defense down that lasts for 2 turns. On top of this banner, having the Miko, which is what your primary focus is going to be on this banner, there is also a Risa, and this Risa actually has quite a bit to her, with being a pretty good general sustain. This Risa is able to give you back your DP bar if you get broken, so that's very strong for the most part, being able to give you around 2,000 DP back, which is really nice. Not only that, this artwork is holy moly. But other than that, her regular recovery can give you some overheal, which is really nice. Of course, having that extra DP given to the allies is always really good when it comes to tanking in that damage. So realistically, this isn't a bad healer to have overall, and Miko is a pretty good debuffer to have for ice team. So if you are a connoisseur of ice characters, Waki, Maria, Kanzaki, any of these characters, specifically those characters, and if you have a team for them, Miko will be a pretty good pickup. If you are interested in other teams like thunder, like fire, like light, like any other element that's not ice, this banner technically would be a pretty easy skip, because this is a centered banner around ice characters and ice teams only. You're really not going to use this Miko anywhere else but for ice characters, so you really want to make sure if you're not building an ice team, you can skip. Realistically, you don't need this sustain. You have Aoi, you have Tama, you have all these other healers and defenders that are in the game, Mua, that are going to help you out very well, which are going to be really great for you. And then Risa, although being really nice, is not a need, right? You can, if you are sustaining already with what you have, Risa's going to be a pretty good character. And then Miko is a pretty good debuffer. She's just a really nice price to get if you so happen to pull on this banner and you grab her first while you're trying to get Miko, right? So that's realistically all that there is to know when it comes to talking about Akari. Not really the craziest character in the world. Not a must need. We just got Yuina. If you're not looking towards building dark, there's really no reason to pull for her. And this is more centered towards ice driven accounts. Going into the main things that we're going to be seeing, besides of course the new Memoria that we are getting, we are getting a new event story. This is something that we already saw with the advancement notice that we got earlier. We're going to receive another spring campaign, which is going to give us 3,000 quartz, another multi to go by. And not only that, we're also getting another daily free login recruitment, which is absolutely perfect. We are going to see a popularity contest. Now, this popularity contest is actually really important, because this is also something I will be talking about in the future. This popularity contest, whether you know it or not, is going to be part of a banner in the future. Whoever you vote for in this popularity contest will end up coming in a banner, and I'm assuming is their most latest versions of them. So let's say Ruka, Yuki, and Aoi ended up getting first, second, and third, right? I'm pretty sure they'll bring Suit Ruka, Suit Yuki, and Maid Aoi. They'll all be on the banner, boom, right? That's kind of how it works. I think they take top 8 of whatever characters are on that popularity list. I will get more details when the occasion comes by, but we are going to pick between characters, and whatever characters rank high in the popularity list when it comes to top 1 through top 8, I think, or top 1 to top 5, those characters will all be on a singular banner, and we will be able to pull on it. This is actually going to be very important. You can skew this in a way to help out all the players, or you could just be really, I say, selfish, not in a bad way, but you can say what you like. Actually, like, I'll put my favorite as Yuki, and you know, if we get Suit Yuki on the banner, then oh well, you know. But I will talk about this banner in specific in a future video in regards to who we should probably ask for. That way we can help everyone out. Like, let's say, hey, our favorite characters are Saika, our favorite characters are Yingsha, so that we can get Saika SS2 on the banner, Yingsha on the banner, Maid Aoi on the banner, Mua, Yotsuha on the banner. Those characters all in one banner would be the most giga value that we could possibly ever see. So like, again, I will talk about this in a future video later down the line, but this is really cool to have coming into Heaven Burns. And then of course the same old stuff. The Anachrony for Vertex Crimson is coming back. Dendron is coming back for the 10,000th time. Merciless Ravager, I think this is a brand new score battle. And we are of course going to see these new banners. Now these new banners will come out at the same time. For those that want to pull on Miko, you could technically roll for the same pity on this character, just because they are going to be out at the same exact time. It doesn't seem like there's going to be a bonus meter for these guys, and it does look like they're going to give us the free singles on the Akari banner, which kind of sucks. I'm not going to lie. Them putting it for Akari but not Miko really does suck, but hey, beggars can't be choosers for the most part, you know? And then we're going to be receiving a step up banner for those that are going to be paying with paid quartz. As you may know, I really love these banners because then it helps me fill out my SS collection in my account. So definitely going to be pulling on that. I really don't think I'm going to be pulling on any of these banners though. I don't necessarily want Akari because, you know, not the craziest character to me personally. And I already have Yuina for Dark. And then for Miko, I have Kanzaki, so I don't know if I'm going to be pulling for her, but I really don't need Risa. It's going to be really weird depending on how I think I need to bolster up my account, or if I could just wait a little bit more before I start pulling on that. But like I said, I do have a video coming out in the very soon future that I already recorded with all these characters and where they're going to be at in order. So other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Always a video. See y'all guys in the next one, and peace.